Hello and welcome to this practice exam conducted by British American Resource Center. My name is Maruf and I'm your practice examiner. These questions are designed to simulate the IELTS speaking test. So let's begin. What is your full name?
My full name is Nehal Mahmood Khan.
And what should I call you?
You can call me Nehal.
At the beginning of the IELTS test, you'll be required to provide a passport or an ID, but as this is just a practice exam, you don't need to provide any ID or passport. Now, in the first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Do you prefer working alone or in a team?
Actually, I prefer working in a team, although it depends on the particular project, but mostly I prefer working in a team because, well, as any task is complicated or relatively more complex, working in a team will help me to get to the target. So yes, I prefer working in a team.
And how often do you work in a team?
Quite often. Actually, I have to work on a team frequently. So currently I'm working as a part-time content editor. So I'm part of the content team.
Okay.
Apart from that, I'm also working to get a paper published on a journal. So even there I'm working on a team. So I have to work on a team on a regular basis.
What are some benefits of teamwork?
Okay. So there are two benefits. Number one is actually there are a lot of benefits, but the two that I'm going to focus on more. Number one is the idea generation, right? There are different people in a team and say we want to develop something, an app or anything. So there are different people and they will put their own idea forward. So there is the aspect of idea generation. And apart from that, there's the problem solving angle. Let's say we face a problem in the team now. There are 10 members in a team. Each of them put forward their idea to solve a problem. So even in problem solving, this teamwork will help a lot, right?
And what are some challenges of teamwork?
Okay. When it comes to challenges, obviously there is the obvious conflict of ideas. Different members, each of them have their own point of view, right? So yes, there is the issue regarding conflict of ideas, and apart from that, sometimes there is the issue of consistency as well. Yes. See, if there are like 15 members in a team, not everyone is going to perform the same or properly every day. So yes, there is the issue of consistency and persistence.
Okay. So how do you deal with the conflicts?
Well, first of all, I have to go to the root of that. Let's say an individual is pestering or, causing a lot of problem. Now, before targeting or doing anything, let me just think from his point of view that what is the main factor behind that, right? And then go to the root of that and try to solve it. Just analyze it and give a solution. How can I? What will solve his problem, right? So that is one thing. And if I see that the team member is like without despite making changes, is still disturbing or creating a lot of challenges, then well, I think it's time to relieve him of his duties. Yeah. So that is one way to deal with it. Yeah, thinking it from their point of view.
Right. What skills are important for teamwork?
Okay. So there is the obvious communication. You have to communicate with your team members, right? Apart from that, there is the issue of persistency and the knowledge of the particular skill. Let's say you are working on an engineering project, a civil engineering project. Obviously, you have to know about particular engineering aspects and how to design something, right? So yeah, there's the technical skills, and apart from that, you need to be aware about time management, discipline, and all that. But I believe listening is also very important. So like each member of the team would want to be heard. So yes, it is important that everyone have listening skills as well.
What are some advantages or disadvantages of working in a multicultural team?
Well, the advantage is that you have a different point of view and different way of getting things done, right? Let's say we have a Japanese or an American team, right? Obviously, the work ethic in these countries are very different from each other. So that is one aspect. Like, let's say an American wants to get things done very quickly, right? And Japanese wants to take a bit more time. So there is the different way of dealing with problem or a condition, right? Well, in terms of disadvantage, again, this diversity. Let's say like an American doesn't like the way how Japanese people work. So there can be conflict, right? So yes, this is a kind of problem that might happen in a multicultural team. I believe that.
Okay. This is the end of part 1. Let's move
Okay.
on to part 2.
Okay.
In this part, I'm going to give you a topic and you have to talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure.
Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can take notes if you wish. Here's the paper
Okay.
and the pencil.
Thank you.
And this is your topic.
Okay.
I'd like you to describe a time when you worked in a team.
Mm-hmm.
And from now, your time starts.
Okay. Okay.
Are you done?
Yes.
Remember, you have 1 or 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. Would you like to start now?
Yes, I would like to start now.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So I recently worked in a team that was the content team for a startup company, right? And so the task was to create different types of content for different websites related to, say, automobile or kitchen or tourism, right? And in that team, there were content developers or content writers who would write the content, and then there was the content editor who would, oversee the content and then edit the information. And above them was the content manager, right? So that was part of the content team. Now, my job was that of a content editor. Content editor, as in, like, let's say a content developer would write an information or a content. Now, my job was to check that information and see if it meets the proper standards or the requirements of our client, right? Or if the grammar is correct or not, how the sentence is being structured, things like that, basic stuff. But nevertheless, it's very important because I have to make sure that it meets the right standards so that, whenever our clients would publish those in their website, it would help them rank, help the website rank. So yes, that was my task, to make sure that it meets the right standards. Kind of like the quality team in a company or something like that, right? And so the team actually worked in this way. I think I kind of gave a hint of how the team works. So it kind of works in this way. There was the content developer whose job was to scour through the website and make a structure and then write on the right tone, accurate information, and exactly on the requirements of our client. And then there was the editor who would check whether it meets the exact standards or not, and suggest any particular changes. And after that, there was the content manager, obviously, who managed and oversaw the whole operation and made sure that the content meets the exact standard. So yes, that was how the team was being made.
Okay. How did you divide the work among the team members?
Okay, so this it was divided based on what the individual team member was comfortable with and their skill set. So let's say someone is comfortable working with automobile, right? We would give them contents related to that, automobile or go-kart or technical topic. Or if someone is comfortable working with tourism, we gave them tourism related website work. So yes, that was what they were comfortable with and their skill set. How good are they? I mean, this technical related contents, they're a bit more challenging. So we gave technical related content to people who are relatively better at researching and writing. Yeah, so skill set and what they were comfortable with. That's how the task was divided.
And what difficulties or challenges did the team face?
Okay, so obviously there was the issue related to motivation. Obviously, not every day there is the same motivation to get things done, right? Motivation, and there was the consistency issue as well. Sometimes people, despite reading the instruction, made the same mistake over and over again. So there was that issue, and Unfortunately, there was occasionally, there was the issue of time management as well. Like made a target, but there were a bit of challenges in meeting that target. But overall,